Last month, a customer brought his 2018 Escalade into my shop. 68,000 miles. Perfect service history. Every oil change done at the dealer, on schedule, and the engine was completely destroyed. The repair estimate was $12,000, all because of habit number 7, something he had done every single day for 3 years without knowing it was quietly killing the engine. Cadillacs don't die from age, they die from habits. Small, everyday habits that feel completely normal, don't trigger a warning light, don't cause any immediate problem until one day they do. Today, I'm walking you through 13 of them. Some of these are so common that 9 out of 10 Cadillac owners do them every day. Stick around. Habit number 1, driving hard on a cold start. Picture this. It's Monday morning, 15 degrees outside. Your Escalade has been sitting all night. You're running late for work. You start it up, throw it in drive, and push it onto the highway. Engine fires right up, no warning lights, everything feels fine. You just caused more engine damage in 60 seconds than most people cause in 6 months. Here's what's actually happening inside. When oil sits overnight, it thickens. When you start that engine, oil pressure builds quickly. But oil pressure and oil flow are not the same thing. The oil hasn't reached the rod bearings, main bearings, cam lobes, or AFM lifters yet. On any Escalade or CTS with the 6.2 V8 and active fuel management, those lifters are precision hydraulic components. They need a sustained oil film to cycle correctly. In the first 30 seconds of a cold start, that film isn't fully established yet. Add throttle before that oil reaches the AFM lifters and cam bearings, you'll never feel the damage happening. You'll never hear it. But it accumulates every single morning for years until a lifter collapses and you're looking at a $4,000 repair on an engine that never missed an oil change. The fix? Idle. 30 to 45 seconds after a cold start. Keep RPMs under 2,000 for the first 2 to 3 minutes of driving. That's all it takes. Habit number 2, following the oil life monitor blindly. Your Cadillac's oil life monitor is a sophisticated system. It tracks heat cycles, cold starts, load, and driving patterns to estimate remaining oil life. When it works as designed, it's genuinely useful. The problem is that it's calibrated for Dexos certified full synthetic oil, and a significant number of Cadillac owners are running something else. I've had owners come in with the monitor showing 20% remaining and oil on the dipstick that looked like it had been in twice as long as suggested. They were running conventional or non-certified oil. The algorithm kept telling them they were fine. The monitor doesn't know what brand you poured in. It assumes Dexos. If you're using anything else, that oil degrades faster than the algorithm expects. By the time it reads 15%, you may already be running oil that can't protect your AFM lifters or DI timing components. The fix? If you're running Dexos certified full synthetic, trust the monitor. If you're not sure what's in your engine right now, change it this weekend. Use a certified synthetic and start the clock fresh. Habit number 3, ignoring ticking sounds and calling them normal. There's a version of this conversation I've had dozens of times. Owner comes in, says the owner ticks a little on cold starts but clears up after a minute or two, asks if it's normal. I ask how long it's been doing it. About 6 months. That's 6 months of AFM lifter warning signs that got dismissed as normal Cadillac behavior. A cold start tick that clears up quickly can be normal. Oil draining from upper engine components overnight and taking a moment to circulate. But a tick that shows up on cold starts and has been consistent for months, especially on a 6.2 V8 with AFM, is often an early signal of lifter wear. The collapsing lifter isn't failing catastrophically yet. It's working harder than it should, wearing faster than it should, and giving you an audible heads up before the cam lobe damage begins. Dismissing it costs owners the difference between a manageable early repair and full valve train replacement. The fix: if you have a persistent tick on cold starts, get a proper oil analysis and have the AFM system evaluated before the tick starts happening at operating temperature too. Habit number 4, using cheap oil filters. The oil filter conversation happens at every oil change. Most of the time, the owner picks the cheapest option on the shelf without thinking about it. For a Cadillac V8 with active fuel management, that decision carries more consequences than it does on most other engines. A quality filter maintains anti-drainback properties, keeping oil available in upper engine passages immediately on startup. It also has a bypass valve calibrated to your specific engine's pressure requirements. A cheap filter with a poorly calibrated bypass opens too early under cold start conditions, sending unfiltered oil through the system at the exact moment the engine needs clean, full-pressure oil most. On an AFM V8, that inconsistent startup pressure contributes directly to early lifter wear. I've pulled failed lifters with wear patterns that a proper filter would have reduced. The fix? Use an AC Delco or Mobil 1 filter for your application. The price difference versus a budget filter is $4 to $6 per oil change. An AFM lifter job is $4,000 to $8,000. The math is simple. Habit number 5, running regular fuel in a premium required engine. This one generates more debate than almost anything in Cadillac ownership communities, so let me be precise. If your owner's manual says premium fuel recommended, you have some flexibility. If it says premium fuel required, and every supercharged CT5V Blackwing, every CT6 with the 3.0 twin turbo, and several other Cadillac performance applications say required, regular fuel is causing real damage that you cannot see or feel. Modern knock sensors detect detonation and retard timing to compensate, so the engine doesn't knock audibly, doesn't throw a code, and feels fine. What's happening underneath is microscopic damage to piston crowns and ringlands accumulating over thousands of miles. The difference between regular and premium on a typical Cadillac fill-up is $3 to $5. The cost of piston damage on a twin-turbo V6 is not a conversation you want to have. Use the fuel your engine was built for. Habit number 6, only making short trips and never letting the engine reach full operating temperature. This one is sneaky because it feels like gentle use. Short commute, light driving, babying the car. Here's what's actually happening inside a Cadillac that never sees highway miles. Every cold start introduces some moisture into the oil from combustion byproducts. On a normal drive that reaches full operating temperature, that moisture evaporates out through the PCV system. On a 3-mile commute, the engine never gets fully hot, and that moisture stays in the oil. Over weeks of short trips, the oil accumulates moisture, fuel vapors, and combustion acids that don't burn off. The result is sludge, and the 3.6 DI V6 in particular is sensitive to oil quality degradation. Cadillacs used exclusively for short city trips never get the extended warm oil circulation that keeps the AFM hydraulic components operating cleanly. The fix is simple. Once a week, take a 25 to 30-minute highway drive. Let the oil reach full operating temperature, let everything run at speed long enough to purge accumulated moisture. That one weekly drive changes the equation entirely. Habit number 7, shutting the engine off immediately after hard driving or highway miles. This is the habit I see more than any other. Owner parks the car, turns the key, walks away. Feels completely normal, does it every day. And on most driving, it's absolutely fine. Short trips, city driving, light use, no problem. But on a Cadillac with a turbocharged engine, the CT6 3.0 twin turbo, the ATS 2.0T, the ATS-V or CT5V, doing this after hard driving is quietly destroying your turbocharger. Here's what happens. You've been on the highway for an hour, or you pushed hard on an on-ramp, or you were towing with the Escalade for 2 hours. The turbocharger has been spinning up to 150,000 RPM. Oil flowing through the turbo bearings has been absorbing massive heat from the turbine housing. When you shut the engine off, the oil stops immediately. But the turbo is still extremely hot, and the oil trapped in the turbo bearing housing has nowhere to go. It cooks. It turns to carbon. Those carbon deposits accumulate on the turbo bearing surfaces, restrict oil flow, and cause the kind of premature turbo wear that mechanics see on engines that otherwise look perfectly maintained. I had a CT6 owner with the 3.0 twin turbo, 72,000 miles, full service history, right oil, every change, and both turbos showing bearing wear that had no business being there at that mileage. He pulled off the highway every day and turned the engine off within 2 minutes. That was the only thing he did wrong. 2 minutes wasn't enough. The fix: after highway driving, hard acceleration, or towing, give the engine 2 to 3 minutes of gentle driving or idle before shutdown. That single habit can double your turbo's service life. Habit number 8, overfilling the engine oil. More oil sounds like more protection. It isn't. On any modern Cadillac engine, overfilling creates a problem in the oil system that it wasn't designed to handle. When oil level is above the full mark on the dipstick, the crankshaft begins contacting the oil surface as it rotates. That contact aerates the oil, whipping it into a foam that cannot maintain consistent oil pressure or provide the same film strength as properly filled oil. On an AFM engine, aerated oil is particularly damaging. The hydraulic lifters depend on consistent oil pressure to actuate correctly. Foamy oil creates pressure fluctuations that cause the lifters to cycle erratically, which accelerates wear on both the lifters themselves and the cam lobes they ride on. I've seen AFM failures on low-mileage engines where overfilling was the only identifiable contributing factor. The fix? Check the dipstick after every oil change before you start the engine. Fill to the full mark, not above it. If you're over by half a quart, drain the excess. 5 minutes, costs nothing. Habit number 9, treating transmission fluid as a lifetime fluid and never servicing it. The GM marketing on this one did real damage. Several Cadillac transmissions came from the factory labeled with sealed for life fluid, and a generation of owners took that literally. The 8L45 and 8L90 8-speed automatics in the ATS, CTS, and Escalade are not lifetime fluid transmissions in real-world use. The fluid degrades. The friction modifier additives that control shift quality break down, and when they do, the torque converter clutch doesn't engage as cleanly as it should. The result is the shudder problem that affected a significant number of these transmissions, a rhythmic vibration between 15 and 50 miles per hour that owners initially blamed on tires or road surface. By the time the shudder is obvious, the torque converter has been slipping against degraded fluid for a long time. A fluid exchange with the correct updated formulation resolves most cases. A torque converter rebuild or replacement is needed for the rest of them. The fix? GM's own technical service bulletins call for drain and fill at 45,000 miles under severe use, towing, frequent stop and go, extreme temperatures, and at 97,500 miles for normal use. If your transmission has started showing any shudder between 15 and 50 miles per hour, don't wait for the next scheduled interval. Get a fluid exchange with the correct updated formulation immediately. That $90 service is what stands between you and a $1,500 torque converter job. Habit number 10, never cleaning the intake valves on a direct injection engine. This is the maintenance item that virtually no Cadillac owner knows exists until the car starts running rough. And by then, the buildup is already significant. Every modern Cadillac V6 and turbocharged 4-cylinder uses direct injection. In a port-injected engine, the fuel spray washes the intake valve stems constantly. In a DI engine, fuel never touches those surfaces. Oil vapor from the PCV system bakes onto them instead. And over 40 to 60,000 miles, the deposits build into thick carbon layers that restrict airflow into the cylinders. The symptoms develop gradually: shaking at traffic lights that wasn't there before, hesitation under light throttle, a rough idle that comes and goes. Owners spend money on coil packs, spark plugs, fuel injectors, before someone finally pulls the intake manifold and finds intake valves caked in carbon that no spark plug was ever going to fix. The only solution is walnut blasting, abrasive media cleaning with the manifold removed, $400 to $800 depending on the engine. With quality Dexos oil and a properly functioning catch can, most engines go 60 to 100,000 miles before needing it. Without those, you're looking at it sooner. Either way, add it to your maintenance schedule because it won't show up on any standard service checklist. Habit number 11, believing your coolant is a lifetime fluid that never needs attention. Cadillac has used several coolant formulations over the years. Decks cool in most applications since the late 1990s, with specific recommendations for different engines and model years. Decks cool has excellent properties when it's fresh and properly maintained. When it's old, depleted, or contaminated, it becomes one of the most corrosive fluids in your engine. The North Star V8 in older DeVille's, Seville's, and STS models already had a structural vulnerability with aluminum head bolt threads in an aluminum block. Degraded coolant accelerates corrosion of those threads, contributing to the head bolt failures that are this engine's most expensive repair. On the 3.6 Di V6 used across so many current Cadillac models, degraded coolant attacks the water pump seal and the thermostat housing, components that require significant disassembly time to reach. DexCool has a service life. GM specifies 150,000 miles or 5 years, whichever comes first. The time-based limit matters as much as the mileage because nitrate depletion happens through age regardless of how many miles you've driven. A car that's 7 years old with 80,000 miles on it may have coolant that's past its service life on the calendar alone. Check the condition and freeze protection every 2 years. If it's brown, murky, or showing any contamination, service it immediately. Clean coolant is cheap. A corroded cooling system is not. Habit number 12, driving with low oil level and topping off instead of investigating. Here's the scenario most owners don't think about until it's too late. You're merging onto the highway. Hard acceleration, engine working, Escalade loaded. Somewhere in that oil pan, the pickup tube momentarily breaks the oil surface because you're 1.5 quarts low. For a fraction of a second, the oil pump pulls air instead of oil. Pressure drops. The AFM lifters don't get their signal. On the 6.2 V8, that's the kind of event that starts the damage you won't find out about until the tick shows up at 60,000 miles and the estimate starts at $4,000. Some oil consumption is normal on high-mileage engines. A quart every 3,000 miles on a worn engine is within range. What's not acceptable is treating a quart-low condition as a routine top-off every month rather than a symptom worth diagnosing. Valve stem seals, piston rings, turbo seals, all of these are addressable before they become catastrophic. Topping off and moving on is just paying for the damage in small installments. Check the dipstick every other fuel stop. It takes 20 seconds. On any Cadillac with AFM, knowing your oil level isn't optional maintenance. It's engine survival. Habit number 13, trusting the dealership service department without asking a single question. Here's what genuinely makes me angry. I've had customers come in who spent $8,000 at their dealership over 2 years. Every recommended service, every oil change on schedule, perfect records, and their engine still failed. Why? Because nobody asked the right questions. The service advisor never volunteered that the transmission fluid was overdue. Nobody mentioned the intake valves. Nobody asked what oil was going in. I've pulled valve covers on Cadillacs with immaculate dealer service histories and found sludge and carbon that those records should have prevented. The oil that went in was technically within spec. It wasn't what I would have chosen for an AFM V8. Nobody asked, so nobody specified. Dealer service departments operate on volume and efficiency. Parts and fluids sourced by purchasing departments based on cost per unit. The service writer isn't going to volunteer the $300 service you didn't specifically request. The fix is free. Ask what oil they're using. Ask for the Dexo certification level. Ask when the transmission fluid was last done. Ask about coolant condition. You're paying for the service. You have every right to know what's going into your car. The dealers who take care of their customers answer these questions without hesitation. The ones that don't are telling you something important. 13 habits, none of them dramatic, none of them obvious, all of them real. Which of these 13 are you doing right now? Drop your model, your year, and your mileage in the comments.